Well, I think that's an interesting way to go. I mean, it's almost like the vehicle rental model where you go, oh, this is what I can rent for $40 a day. If you're looking at exotic car companies that have sort of exploded in the last little while, this is what I can rent for $800 a day, or I can get a Lambo for $1,000. I think it's interesting, and it might get rid of the unfortunate situation where you have someone who is looking at, let's say, a used Yukon that's high 40s, and their budget is $300 a month. Right? And you go, well, how on earth is that going to happen, right? Which is something you should try to get out of the way early. But I think it's an interesting idea. I'd like to hear everyone else's thoughts on that.
Well, I think it'd be cool because, do they really need that Yukon every single day? What if could they buy into that $300 subscription, and then once a year, once every 6 months, be able to have usage of something? There are some manufacturers that are playing with this right now on the new car, but I haven't heard a whole lot on the used car. Justin, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's an interesting thought for the used car department. I don't know, as far as the customer goes, I typically find that the used car buyers, I don't know that they're the type of consumer that might necessarily need that switching so often into different types of vehicles. They're kind of finding the one that suits their needs in their life right now, but they need it every day. I do think there's absolutely some value there in that type of person that, we go up to the cottage 3 times a year and I need a truck when I'm going up there. And I think there's some, if you can provide the value versus a rental, then absolutely it's an interesting way to take it.
Ted?
As Dr. Ken says on The Masked Singer, I know exactly how to solve this problem. Not a lot of guys watch that, apparently. So it's fine. It's all right. Never mind. I actually think that there's a better model than doing a year plan with this. I think a subscription service concept would be really good. And the way I would do it, and I only say it because I had experience with Car2Go with Mercedes-Benz out in British Columbia when we launched out there. If as you get good, decent quality used cars, demos come off the road, whatever, you're moving them to the used car department, if that's what you do. You could pick a suite of, say, 6, 10 cars. There's going to be some overhead expenses to set it up, but basically customers could come in and swipe their card. They have a subscription membership, and they can take the car, for periods of time that are required. And they're charged, credit cards charged. You got to be careful, obviously. You don't want to lose the vehicle, but there's safeguards that can be put in place. There's geofencing that you can do where customers can't drive beyond certain. But I think it would be a great utilization of your used car inventory, some, not all of it, in a very unique way to allow consumers who may take the bus, may walk, may do whatever they do on their daily, but have a driver's license, can't afford a car, but do need transportation on weekends or during the week for a new job interview, whatever it might be. They come in, they swipe, they take the car, off they go, they replace it at the end of the use. With Car2Go, it was different. I mean, you could drop it anywhere in the city, and people could pick it up, and you could go online and see exactly where it is.
Yeah, it was more of a convenience kind
It was more a convenience kind of thing. But I think with a dealership, I mean, if you really wanted to be innovative and be different, you could do that with parameters where that vehicle gets returned to the lot upon completion of the drive. If you want to go and drop it off at a rental agency, you've got rental companies for that. But if you want to be part of the ABC Motors family, then come on in, we'll sign you up, we do everything, credit check, whatever's required, know that they're in good standing, and it's just a matter of everything gets logged in and their card's charged every time they come back based on kilometers in use.
Yeah, I just had this thought. It's kind of a different way. I don't know if anyone's doing this or not, but I mean, I own a sports car that's now parked inside for 6 months. Is anyone doing a thing where, a 6 month and 6 month thing where you can take, an SUV or a pickup in the winter and then maybe go to a car or, something sporty convertible?
Maybe more of a shorter term
in
ownership.
The summer, yeah.
I think, guys, what we're talking about here is a different type of ownership model.
Yeah.
And I think if you're going to try to be very modern and progressive, and you're going to try to think outside the box, there's something there, to possible renting or subscription or shorter term ownership. But look, if I was told that, hey, all right, your membership is $650 a month, all right, those are the vehicles you can choose from. And in 12 months, you can swap back out, get another one. I'd probably swap something out.
I think the only risk with that is what happens if, 12 months down the road, you don't have what they might be looking for. It's
true.
Right? Because we know that the used car market's very cyclical, and right now getting good used cars is difficult. Imagine if a guy was driving a pickup and on that 12-month subscription and needed that right now. It would just be challenging that if you didn't have something that met what their requirements were, what do you do? Do you have to extend it? And does that interfere with your rollover process and everything like that? So lots to think about, but certainly innovative, certainly.